Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby if you don't already know me, and I love to talk all things personal finance, organization, and lifestyle. And we're back with another monthly reset. I cannot believe it's time to film this video, and I cannot believe it's June because right now it is disgusting out. We've had like a true spring here in Vancouver. It hasn't been exceptionally warm. It doesn't feel like June. Also, I am filming this a little bit early this month just because I have a trip this weekend, and then I want this up on the 30th, so then I have to film it now, basically, to edit it in time. Welcome to another monthly reset. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all of the continued support on my channel. We have been growing like crazy. We just hit over 2,000 subscribers. I think we're like at a 2.25 already. What? I'm having such imposter syndrome, and this is so crazy to me that, sorry, I'm fixing my jorts. Well, my sweatshorts. Yeah, this is truly so crazy to me that we are already at this milestone, and I feel like I was just saying thank you for 1,000 subscribers, and now we're over 2. So yeah, just thank you guys so much for support, and also for buying the spreadsheet, the budget tracker. It has been blowing up. I just want to say thank you guys so much for spending your hard-earned money on my budget tracker, and I hope in turn it saves you some money and it's worth it. Let's get into this because it's going to be a long one. We're going to be clumping together the financial reset and then the regular reset. I usually split these two up, so we're going to be clumping them together today. It's going to be a long one. Grab a drink and enjoy and reset along with me. So we're going to do the financial portion first. I think I usually do it the other way around, but we're going to do financial portion first, and then we'll go into some favorites and just some reflections on May afterward, and then we'll do the goals at the end. So I just want to do a little recap on myself because I think a lot of new people view my videos and I always forget that happens, and then they have no context on who I am, and then hopefully that answer some questions. So I am 29 years old and I live in Vancouver, Canada. I currently live in a 1-bedroom apartment with my boyfriend. We split the rent here, and I am an engineer. I work in construction and I've been about 5 years into my career now. So I do have a full-time salaried job, and then I do YouTube and Etsy on the side as a bit of a side hustle. Let's cover first the May financial goal. So I have been trying to do financial goals every single month for 2024, and this is just to help me gamify saving and investing and making money a fun thing, so it's not like a chore that I have to do. So I set a little goal every single month for what I want to do with my money, and then we kind of see if I achieved it or not. May's goal was I wanted to be a little bit more intuitive with my spending and not check in on my budget consistently. I was feeling a little budgeted out. I hadn't taken a break from like consistently budgeting in years, so I just wanted to see if not checking in on my money would have a big impact on my spending. Do I have good habits? Can I stick to spending in a moderate kind of way without tracking? And if I'm being completely honest, I was really anxious about money this month. I think that the regular budgeting just kind of works for me. It helps keep my money anxiety down because when I'm not consistently checking in on where I stand, I felt really anxious about money, honestly. I felt kind of negative about money the whole month. If I'm going to be completely honest, I felt like I was spending out of control. I felt like I had no idea where I stood. And I actually, like a week into May, put all my numbers in because I was starting to freak out that I had spent my whole month's budget in like a week. I think that just caused a lot of anxiety for me. So I don't think that taking regular budget breaks is something that I want to do moving forward unless I can get my spending under control. But I do naturally want to spend a lot. I'm a spender, so I do constantly need to remind myself not to spend so much. Let's dive into the May numbers and then we can chat about the June financial goal next. Okay, so May's budget was a little high. We were definitely over. So my income for the month was $9,000. It was a 3 paycheck month, so I did expect it to be higher. I was expecting around 7,000, but the budget tracker blew up. So I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I made $1,100 from my budget tracker. That is, I do not have words for that, just simply because my goal for the whole year was to have about $2,000 in revenue. And when I set that goal, I didn't really I didn't have any understanding of what I could potentially be making from this tracker, but that is just an extremely high number that I never expected from this. This is really cool because I did spend a lot of my time making this. This was like a 3 to 4 month project that I did after work, and there was no guarantee of making any money from it. So this is really cool that this is now a passive form of income for me, and this is what I wanted when I made this, is I wanted it to become a passive form of income. So if any of you are on the fence about making a digital product to sell online, I highly recommend it. It is, something that you have to potentially lose like time and effort on in case it doesn't pan out and you don't make that much money from it. But if it works out, it is truly a passive form of income, and this is really cool to see. Yeah, so that is a very cool aspect of this month. So I did make quite a bit of money. My expenses and bills were extremely high at $5,295, so $5,300. We will chat about that. Savings and investments was higher than normal as well though, so that is at $3,330, about $1,000 more than I usually save and invest, so that is great. And my credit card spending was also high. If you are new here, I am a credit card user. I buy everything on credit. I hardly ever use debit or cash, so I'm basically always paying off last month's bill this month, and that's why I need to budget so closely just to make sure that I can always cover my expenses. So I did have like a low spend April, sort of. I had a couple things that I paid for that were expensive that were coming out of sinking funds, but I actually had a couple of things I bought at the end of April that made it onto my credit card statement. So if you saw my reel on Keep a Return from Aritzia, there was about $800 of Aritzia I bought at once, and then that was on my statement balance. It was like the last day of my statement balance, so a bad day to buy Aritzia. And then I ended up returning all of it except for like $200 worth. So that went through afterward, but I kind of saw my statement balance and just transferred over my statement balance, and then that return amount from Aritzia is helping like offset next month. That's why my credit card payments are quite high. That is that. In the cash account balances area here, you will see I have about $1,800 in my checking account. And this is after I get paid. I think the last day of May is my final paycheck for May. So I kind of do this where I'm filming this before the end of May, but I treat it as like the full month of May happened. Then we have my credit card balances of about 400 sitting on my Amex. So I just recently used all of my Amex points for our flights for our Europe trip. I'm kind of transferring over to using other cards now that I'm not actively trying to use these points, and I won't be keeping my Amex Gold after the full year is up. So this is a card that I will be downgrading once I am done with it. So I haven't been using it as much. My Avion, I was switched over to because I do have about 25,000 points on this card. So I'm trying to see if I can rack up a couple extra before maybe we book like a room or something with those points. And then I have been using my Neo quite a bit. I used it across the border when I crossed the border to go to the US, and I also was using it for Costco runs. My Neo I've been using quite a bit more than usual, and that is sitting at $1,200 right now. Okay, so let's go through income. As I mentioned, it was a 3 paycheck month. I have my Etsy income, which was a lot higher than expected. As I mentioned, thank you guys so much for buying the budget tracker. I will link it down below if you're interested in this budget tracker. This is the one that I'm talking about right now, is the one that's on screen. So, and then I also have my bonus. If you're new, I pay for my family phone plan, and then everyone just e-transfers me. Okay, let's do expenses. You're gonna see a lot of red. So the whole spending intuitively didn't go amazing, but I will say that another one of my May goals, finances wise, was to prioritize the patio. We needed to do some updates for sure on the patio. We had like furniture, but we didn't have anything else, and we didn't have anything that made it look nice or like a welcoming space at all. So it was one of my goals this month to focus on the patio. So we actually ended up going to IKEA, and then we decided last second that we were also going to update the office, which has been another project we wanted to do in the house. And these are like the two areas of the house that were kind of left to like get to an area where we actually were happy with it. Just decided, let's just go for it. We're here and we have savings that we can pull from if we need to. So David, my partner, ended up paying for the IKEA. And then so what happened outside of that is I ended up buying some other home items that we didn't buy at IKEA myself, just to offset that. And then I also paid for most of our groceries for the month. So you're gonna see that the groceries is super high. But I also did go to Trader Joe's and I spent like $150 on not necessarily necessary groceries when I went across the border. So that also kind of drove this up a bit as well. So I did spend $650 on groceries, but a majority of that is for two people. That is not like my portion of it. And if you're curious how me and my boyfriend split finances, we used to put everything into Splitwise, and we were like good at that for a while. And then we just kind of forgot to do it for 2 months. And then we just haven't done it since. And we just try to like mentally keep track of like, does it feel like one person is paying for more than the other? We have similar-ish incomes. So that kind of just works for us, is to split things that way. We are looking into getting a couple's credit card and then a joint account to pay that credit card off of. We just haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet, but that is probably something that we're going to start doing very soon here. Transportation is another incredibly high category. So I ended up getting gas twice. My gas in my car is expensive and gas has been insane. So I've been spending about $150 on gas every time I gas my tank up. And then I had a bunch of Ubers in this month, a lot of Ubers across the border that were really expensive. We also had a day where we went to the beach, and there's like the parking at the beach is a pain, and the parking is so expensive and you can never find spots. So I ended up renting an Evo, which is like a car that you just like pick up anywhere and then you can drop it off anywhere. I ended up doing that and driving everyone to the beach, and then that ended up being like $40. So I think I'll just be parking my car next time and paying the like $12, $15 of parking, because there's no way it would be 40. So yeah, that was kind of a mistake on my end. But yeah, transportation was super high and I didn't budget for that at all. Eating out, I was over by $27, which is actually pretty good considering I went to the States and had to pay for a couple of my meals in USD and all that. So not mad about that one. Coffee, I only spent $10 on coffee when I budgeted $50. So I'm very proud of that one. Drinking and cannabis, I was right on the nose, which is great. And this includes buying a giant round of drinks across the border, which was like $100. So I think this is a good category. I was right on the nose. Clothes, yeah. If you are new here, I really enjoy spending my money on clothes. If anyone is familiar with like Ramit Sethi, he does his whole like My Rich Life. And I think his favorite thing to spend money on is actually clothes as well. And I just feel the same way. Like I love clothes. I love fashion. It is a way that I like express my creativity. I don't even like accessories. I like physical clothes. So it is just my thing I like to spend my money on. You might have skiing, you might have books or, home improvement. Mine is clothes, and I didn't budget for it, and that is my bad. I was intuitively spending, and clothes add up. Oh, also, I kind of like planned what I was gonna buy this month, and then there was a totally unexpected situation where I ran a half marathon in May, and they had a 25% off discount at Lululemon if you ran the half marathon. And I was like, that just doesn't come around. You don't get to just get 25% off at Lululemon very often. So I took advantage of it, and I basically bought everything on my wish list at Lululemon. I got the Define jacket, which I've been eyeing for months and months and months. I got one of the Wondermost t-shirts. I love that material. It's very like Skims. And then I also got a baseball cap that I really wanted from Lulu as well. So 2 of the items I actually wore on my marathon day, or my half marathon day, and I don't regret it at all. I love every item I got. It was just unexpected, of course, but what can you do? Next up is beauty, and one of my goals was also to spend less on beauty. I've been having a lot of expenses on beauty recently, so this was over, but not by a ton. And yeah, fun, I underspent because I never have fun. I'm just kidding. I have lots of fun. The fun category usually goes somewhere else. My cat, I ended up buying his food again, and that is really expensive. I cannot believe we spend, to be fair, he was out of his kibble, which we don't buy that often, but yeah, 120 bucks on cat food, crazy. Health, I had a big order of supplements for my naturopath that I had to order at the beginning of the month. That was over $200. So I knew this category was gonna be expensive. I also went back to the naturopath to get another review. So that also is included in this amount. And what else did I do? Oh, I went to the dentist. I forgot I had a dentist appointment. So that's also included here. Yeah, I think that's most of it. So whatever, 20 bucks over. Gifts, I underspent on gifts, and that is because of my wedding gift. I ended up just kind of keeping it around the 100 Canadian dollar mark. Home, so I budgeted for the patio update, was about to be $350, and then David ended up paying for the whole IKEA patio and office update, and that was close. I think that was close to $700 for all of that, but it was for 2 spaces. So I think my budget was about right, that $350 would have been like for the full patio. But then I ended up getting a new pot for one of my monsteras in the house. And then I also grabbed floral, like I grabbed plants for the patio. So I grabbed a couple pots for plants and a couple of strawberries and, you know, plants for the patio. And I cannot believe how expensive that is. Like, this is basically all that stuff from Home Depot. Gardening, man. I don't know how people have huge gardens. This is so expensive. 0 on discretionary, and then travel. This was kind of not actually travel related expense. It's more so related to a event that I'm planning for a certain somebody in my life. So this is a charge that I will get refunded for. Everyone, it's a big lump sum charge, and everyone will e-transfer me. I just haven't asked for those e-transfers yet. So this is kind of something that I'm removing from my overall budget just because it's gonna be refunded. But I track exactly how much is on all of my credit cards up here. So I have to input all expenses that get charged to my credit card. So that's why you're gonna see these little numbers down here. Is like, this is more so the true value of what I spent, removing things that are gonna be returned to me. So like, what did I remove exactly? I removed my wedding gift because I have a sinking fund for that. I removed the travel expense, and then I removed, oh yeah, I ended up having this weird thing where I bought some clothes from the Bay and then I returned the clothes to the Bay, but I returned it onto a different credit card. So I had to like track that in my tracker, but I didn't want it to count towards my expenses because I returned the item. So that's included there. So that's basically this number reflected down here. So if I wanted to compare this to like a regular month of spending, like in April I spent, computer is slow. Yeah, April I spent like $2,700 with everything included, 17 when they removed the stuff that I have sinking funds for. So yeah, I just kind of like to look at where I stand compared to regular months, removing things that aren't actually going to be counted towards my stuff, if that makes sense. Bills and subscriptions were super standard. Oh, I also haven't donated yet, but once again, I probably will do that as soon as I'm done this video. So add $40 to my expenses. Bills and subscriptions, rent is standard $1,100, which is my half of our 1-bedroom apartment in Vancouver, which is actually extremely cheap for this city. Yeah, if we moved, we would be screwed. So we are staying put as long as humanly possible. My phone plan, as I mentioned, is my family's, and then I have a couple of small bills that go through, always the same. So yeah, savings, I'm currently saving for a new laptop that I'm gonna be buying in June, and we will add that to the June budget. And I also am contributing a little bit extra to my Italy fund. So 3 paychecks means 3 savings, 3 investments. I have automatic savings and automatic investments set up. Every time I get paid, immediately money gets drawn from my account. And this is the number one thing I could probably recommend to anyone is automate your savings, automate your investments. There's no way I would invest as much as I do if I had to manually do it every single time. And yeah, investments. I actually ended up turning up the amount that I contribute to my retirement. So I think it was at like $510 or something like that. And now it's $605. So I added quite a bit more. And that is because I'm consistently getting more money from Etsy. And I was noticing that I wasn't actually ending up transferring any additional money to my investments, even though I was getting more money in. And I just want to make sure that I don't like psychologically spend that money because I'm not contributing it to my investments. So even though I don't like to budget based on Etsy because I have no idea how much money is coming in, I've like over the last 3 months have always gotten at least $100 every 2 weeks. So I think that turning up my investments by $100 should be safe. I just want to keep an eye on that if all of a sudden the Etsy money stops coming in. Okay, and yeah, credit cards, as I mentioned, I just pay my statement balance and I never get charged interest. I don't do that. We don't do that anymore. Okay, let's look at the June budget. So I've already gone through all of my numbers and I definitely have some big items coming up in June. So I think in the May budget, I mentioned that my car insurance was due, but I was wrong. It's due in June. It's just due at the beginning of June. So I usually have to like look into it at the end of May. If it goes up, as I expect it will, I expect about $1,400, $1,500 for that. So that will be going through. And I added that underneath the transportation charge for expenses. And I also am expecting higher gas because gas prices are high. I'm expecting like 2 full refills of my gas tank, and that will be about $300 on top of my car insurance. So I budgeted about $1,700. Another big thing coming up in June is I am going to be buying that laptop I talked about. So I originally was thinking about $2,000, but I'm just gonna be safe and call it $2,350. And if I'm under, I'm under. Laptops just are not cheap anymore. And I definitely don't want to buy a laptop and then a year from now be frustrated that I didn't get a powerful enough one to edit videos, especially if I invest in a better high quality camera at some point. I need to make sure that my laptop can keep up with editing on that laptop. So it will be a business expense and I think I should kind of just go for it instead of like getting something that's 75% there, you know? Also, it is my next Botox touch-up. If you see my forehead wrinkles, that's because it's time. It's time to go back. If anyone is wondering why I get Botox, it is because I have very active forehead muscles. I've always had them. I've had them since I was a kid. My mom used to always tell me, stop doing that, you're gonna get wrinkles. Because every movement of my face, it's like pulls my forehead into some deep lines. And I actually had, at the age of like 25, I had such deep set lines from doing it all the time, and I thought that it was really aging me more than I felt. I felt like I looked a lot older than I wanted to. So yeah, I started getting Botox for that. If you don't have any wrinkles on your face, if you're not constantly making expression lines, you don't need it. So I don't want anyone to see me getting Botox and feel like you need it. It's an insecurity of mine. So I came to the conclusion that there's something I can do about it. And I also at that same time stopped getting my nails done. I stopped getting my hair done. I stopped getting my eyelash extensions. I stopped anything else that I was spending money on beauty-wise so that I could pay for Botox instead. And I'm really, really happy with that decision. I've been doing all of those other things myself. I even cut my own hair. I've had one haircut by a professional in the last decade. So that is why I feel comfortable spending my money on Botox. Is just that is the thing that I can't do at home. I wouldn't want to. So that is under the beauty category, and that will be about, I think it's about $350. And then I also, of course, always have beauty products that are empty and I need to top up. So I put another $50 in there just in case. Let's cover groceries. I really want to try to get my groceries down, especially because I bought most of the groceries in June. I think that me and David can kind of have him balance that out a little bit more this month. Eating out, I'm going to go back down to 50 and see if that is reasonable. I want to go to restaurants a little bit more than we have, just because I like going on a patio in the summer and having like a nice patio beverage. I feel like that's a vibe. So I wouldn't mind going a little bit more than we do right now, but we really don't eat out at all, really at all. Like I think some months we don't go to a restaurant even once. My budget for eating out is usually really low. Drinking and cannabis products, I want to bring that down back to what it usually is as well. When I have a month where something kind of jumps up, I just like to correct and bring it back down if I can, just so that it doesn't become like a new habit. Coffee, I want to do David has bought the last couple rounds of Nespresso, so I don't think that would be very fair for me not to buy this time. So let's do 30 on top of the 90, so let's do 120. Oh, I'm not typing. Why am I not typing? Oh, okay. See, this is why I need a new laptop. David's laptop can't handle basic functions. Fun, 50, this is like always the fun amount, because things come up randomly. But Orlando, David has agreed to buy his food next month. So that is that. we might get another cat. We are heavily discussing getting another cat, so this might be a completely different number at the end of June. I don't know. Health, just got the okay from my naturopath to come off of a lot of the supplements I was on. We wanted to get my levels back to baseline, so these aren't supplements I was supposed to be on for the rest of my life, thankfully. And yeah, I think that the months of spending like $200 to $300 on supplements are behind me, luckily. So we're gonna try to have a low health month and maybe just a deductible for maybe like acupuncture or a massage or something like that. Gifts, I have a lot of cancers in my life. Something about me loves a cancer. So everyone's birthday is coming up this month, including my boyfriend. It's his 30th. So I will be spending a lot of money on gifts, planning birthdays, you know, cakes, balloons, all that stuff. And I want to budget accordingly for that. So that is why that is so high. Home, I do need to finish the patio and the office. I'm gonna be doing a video on both of them, and I don't think I can do that on $50. So let's do 100. That's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, the home is gonna be specifically for those two so that I can wrap up those projects and make a video and put it out for you guys. Travel, 500. I do want to finish our planning of our trip this month, and I want to start booking Airbnbs and stuff like that, or accommodations and things that we need to pre-book. So if this is higher than 500, I'm not going to be upset because I have sinking funds for travel. So I'm just like putting a number down, and this might be 3 times the amount. It might be $50. I don't know. But we do need to start really like figuring out what we want to do, where we want to go. We don't even know exactly where we want to go yet, so we really need to figure that out. Donations, I like to do 40, and business expense, of course, a new laptop, so that is that. And everything else is going to be my normal numbers. I'm going to be doing the exact same amounts I do into my savings, into my investments as I usually do. And if it comes time for my May credit cards and I have money left over, so I think I'm supposed to have like $400 left over after May, I think is what it was saying in my budget, then I will transfer that money into my laptop fund, just because I will need extra money for my laptop if it is as high as it is. I wasn't anticipating a $2,400 laptop, so I will top off any additional money left over into that fund for my laptop. And that's what I usually do, is because I'm playing with credit cards and I don't have like, you know, the month doesn't close out and I have like an exact X amount left over. It usually waits until my credit card balances are due. So I usually just wait till those are due, and then if I have that extra money, I will dump it somewhere else, if that makes sense. Okay, let's do the monthly reset portion of this video. All right, we're gonna go through this pretty quick because I'm on my lunch break and I don't have that much time. All right, so June. Monthly reflection. So we're gonna reflect on May and everything that happened. So what were my monthly wins? Definitely YouTube. I had a huge YouTube month. May was very kind to me and the algorithm was very kind to me. So that is a huge win for May. I also ran my very first official half marathon race, and I ran it in under 2 hours. And I cannot believe I did that. That's kind of crazy. I was expecting myself to be about 2 hours and 10 minutes. So to run it 13 minutes faster than I thought is wild. And yeah, that was super exciting. And I also saw family and friends that I just don't get to see that often. So those are a huge win. What lessons did I learn this month? That budgeting works for me. I am not a spend intuitively girl. List something new I did. I ran a half marathon race. That was new for me. I've never done that before. What was my favorite memory? Definitely seeing my family halfway through my race. They like stayed at this little spot and I found them midway through, and it was such a wonderful little excitement moment, and I felt like I smiled for the rest of the race because I saw them, and it was just so good. Oh, and also my friend's wedding. A roommate of mine just got married in Seattle, and it was so nice to have all of the girls together from university that I don't get to see that much. We're all scattered everywhere, so nice to see them. And yeah, I love a wedding. What can I say? What were some habits that I will carry forward? I will definitely be carrying forward a lower screen time. That needs to happen. I will discuss that when we get to goals. All right, monthly books. I finally finished House of Flame and Shadow. If you've been watching the last couple of months, I started this book in March and I just finished it. It was honestly a long haul, and I honestly didn't love it. yeah, I just found myself really struggling to get through it. I even paid for a Patreon account to listen to the audiobook because I just needed a method of getting through it at the end. I was struggling so much with picking up the physical book. Not to mention, I just don't like physical books. I'm a Kindle girly. I like a delicate, light little thing. Especially, I love reading in the dark. Like, I love turning all the lights off and just like getting super cozy and reading in the dark. So yeah, I struggled with it. I gave it 4 stars simply because I loved the beginning. I loved the way that the book started. The whole like, yeah, I'm not gonna give spoilers, but the beginning of that book I loved. And then it just kind of went downhill from there. I just started a thriller, Stacey Willingham's, I think that's her name. Yeah, All the Dangerous, no, that's not the right one. A Flicker in the Dark is the one I'm reading. I've already read this one. A Flicker in the Dark, sweetie. You can't keep your books straight. Yeah, so Carter Sullivan said that she loved both this one and then the other one, and I did love All the Dangerous Things. I read that probably about a year ago, and I just need like a fast-paced thriller to get me out of my reading slump. I feel like Sarah J. Maas kind of caused me a little bit of a reading slump. But I am also starting Throne of Glass. I'm gonna do the audiobooks though, so we're gonna be listening to the Throne of Glass series. Okay, monthly favorites. I don't have anything to show you guys right now, but the Tower 28 mascara, the Make Waves one, obsessed. I love that mascara. Huge fan. The wear on it is great. It makes my lashes look so long, and I love the brown color. I also have a lash serum I've been using that has made my lashes like 40% longer. And I have been using a lash serum on and off for like 3 or 4 years, and I found that all of them were doing nothing for me. And I tried a new one from Amazon, and it was amazing. I'm obsessed. I will put a photo of it here because I don't have it on me right now. And it's a random brand. But yeah, I'll also put it in the description box. It was such a good lash serum. Clothes, my Lululemon Define jacket I just got. I've been wearing the living crap out of it, and I've been wearing it with my Alphalete Aura Flare, just black leggings, like the flare leggings. I've been wearing those all the time. Anytime I want to be cute and comfortable, that is the outfit I go to. If you watched my, oh God, what video was that? I think it was my mid-month check-in for April. I thrifted a couple items. I thrifted like a blue blazer, and I also thrifted a blue button-down, and I've been loving both of those. I've been wearing them constantly to work. I've been wearing them to go to dinners. Yeah, I've been wearing the crap out of them. TV, Fallout. Me and my boyfriend watched Fallout this month, and it was incredible. I actually loved it. I've never played the game, so I had no context, but he said it was very like different from the game as well, so he didn't really know where it was going, but we both loved it. And I have so many questions, and I need another season. Like, I feel like they didn't really answer any of my questions. So, but yeah, did love Fallout. Home, just the patio refresh. I've already been spending more time out there. We had dinner out there. It was so nice, and I can't wait to like reveal it to you guys. It's looking really cute, and it was just such an upgrade from what we had. So money well spent. And then also our office refresh has completely changed my like workspace. I feel so much more relaxed and excited to work in that space. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not updating that space earlier because it just made such a huge impact on our life. And that's going to show like sometimes spending money improves your life, and it's worth it. And saving and investing isn't everything, and that's something I really want to come across on this channel is you can still meet your financial goals while enjoying your life and spending money where it matters. Sometimes changing your space and your environment has a larger impact on you than you think. Recipes, if you watch my What I Eat in a Week video, the miso sesame tofu rice bowl I made from Fresh Prep, amazing. I'm obsessed with that meal. We've already had it, I think, 2 more times after that. And then we also got another Fresh Prep meal, the super veggie almond bowl. It was so, so good. Fresh Prep. If you want to work together, I'm obsessed with you guys. I am. I would love to work with you guys. And then songs, anything from Billie Eilish's new album. I've really been loving her new album, specifically Lunch and Birds of a Feather and Cairo. I don't know how to say that one. I also, a throwback song I heard recently was Sleepyhead by Passion Pit, and it brought me back to like grade 9. So that was just like a nostalgic listen. And then of course the $1 Million Baby song, the TikTok song. I'm obsessed with it. It's such a good workout song. So yeah, those are my favorite songs of the month. Let's go over to the goals. So we're gonna go back to the budget spreadsheet, and we're gonna go through the May goals. Top 3 goals, I feel like I kind of achieved all of them for this month was my half marathon, of course. That was at the beginning of the month. And then I wanted to make sure I dove into a new workout split and something I was excited to do. And it's been great. I feel like I have a new love for lifting weights that kind of got lost in the middle of marathon training. I felt really like I had to force myself to go to the gym, and I was often sitting on my phone scrolling between my sets for like 8 minutes. And then my hour that I allot myself in the morning to work out would be done, and I feel like I got halfway through my workout. So I've been definitely getting back into it, lifting heavier again, and I feel like I have like a new invigoration for lifting weights. So that's been great. I wanted to do some more Etsy product stuff. So I definitely wanted to work on my Notion because I do want to list my Notion template online for sale. And I also want to make a Notion tour for you guys as well. So that has been my priority. I say Etsy product, but I'm not sure I'm going to sell it on Etsy. I might sell it on another website. But yeah, my Notion was my big task, and I have completed my Notion. I just need to turn it into a template where it has like instructions on how to use it. So we are going to be doing that in the month of June. And I also wanted to reduce my screen time. At the end of April, I had like a notification that my screen time was up 30%. And I did notice that a lot of the habits I built earlier this year around sleep and like getting to bed earlier, I was basically not reading before bed and I was scrolling before bed. And then I was going to bed like 30 minutes later. So I really wanted to just be aware of my screen time. And yeah, I've been really good with this. I slowly just started like trying not to scroll as much. And then I actually finally started using the time limits on apps. I've never implemented them because I thought I would just, after a certain amount of time, just start using that like use it anyway button and it wouldn't even really do anything, but it has been helping me a lot. And I'd have downtime turned on where basically all of my apps are like inaccessible during like sleeping hours. So that has been very big help. And I've been noticing I've been feeling better. So this is something that I think everyone should really try to limit. Yeah, additional goals, the patio refresh, my May money challenge, tick. I wanted to list some clothes on Facebook Marketplace. I listed about half of them, so I like half should tick off this goal, but yeah, whatever. I wanted to read 2 books. I think this is the second month in a row that I've put that down there. I did not. I wanted to have a beach picnic with my boyfriend, and we also wanted to go for a date night, and we did that. We went to sushi. I wanted to get back out golfing. I did go once, so not as much as I wanted to, but hopefully in June we go once a week like we used to last year. I wanted to wash my car and vacuum it. I washed it. I just didn't vacuum it, so didn't take it off. I wanted to find the Alex cabinet on Facebook Marketplace. I've been wanting to find one since January. This was like an annual goal. I did find one. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but it was $30. So what can you do? I wanted to plan out 4 weeks of content creation in Notion. I was kind of struggling for ideas at the end of April, and I did do this, and I actually didn't really use it that much. I've been kind of going with more like creative ideas that come up or things that work with my schedule. Some weeks I have more time to edit, and then others I have only time to film. So yeah, I've just been kind of working with my schedule and stuff like that. But it is nice to have a backlog of videos if I ever have, writer's block and I can't figure out what the heck to film. And then I wanted to finish planning a specific event. I'm not completely done that, but it's close. So I'm not going to give any more details because it's a surprise. June goals. My intention for the month is to be present. I love summer. Summer is my favorite month. I live for summer. So I don't want to spend all of it inside editing. I have a lot of time I spend inside editing currently. So if that means going down to only 1 upload every single week, then I think I have to be okay with that. And I just want to enjoy. Summer is fleeting, and all winter long I pray for the sun. So I just need to enjoy these moments, and I want to spend it outside. My top 3 goals is I will be posting my Notion tour and that template. It's coming. I'm so sorry it's so late. I keep talking about it. It's coming. I want to do 1 to 2 hours a week time blocked for Etsy work. And yeah, this is just how I'm going to be getting to making sure I prioritize the Etsy products, because I do want to prioritize them. I definitely want to start on either a version 2 of the spreadsheet, or some other colors or some other looks or some other sheets to add to this. I definitely want to add like a budget for trips, because I'm actively planning a trip right now. So I think I can kind of build it while I use it, and that way it's the most functional as possible. More Etsy stuff is coming. And then my third goal is to enjoy summer in line with that whole be present thing. I want to have like a little bit of a summer bucket list. I was recently watching Gabby Cheyenne's vlog, and she made a summer bucket list, and she would like felt like a little giddy schoolgirl, and I was like, wow, I need to make one of those. I want to feel like that. We will be making a summer bucket list, and I want to tick everything off of that list. Additional goals, my financial goal for June is going to be I want to do 10 no spend days. So I did a little bit of a no spend challenge just to offset some costs when I went down for a wedding to Seattle. If you haven't seen my most recent video, it was like a what I spent in a week video. But yeah, that kind of triggered this like thought of how good no spend days are for me and how it helps me like reset my habits. And so I want to aim for 10 total no spend days, which I think will be kind of hard. We'll see how that goes. I have to vacuum my car, as I mentioned. It still needs to get done. I want to continue to lower my screen time. I want to get a little bit lower every single week, and then we can see how low we can get it. Obviously, as somebody who does social media now as like a little side hustle, I can only lower it so much, but I definitely want to like get my Instagram time down. I want to get certain apps down for sure. I want to read 3 books. I know I can't even read 2 books, but I want to read 3. But aligned with the whole summer thing, I want to read this month. It's a goal. We're doing it. We're doing more reading. I want to be more present in the gym. I want to stop scrolling. So this comes out of that whole marathon working out thing where I was just a really bad habit where I was scrolling for so long in between my sets. And I want to kind of like put my phone across the room when I'm working out, like have my music going, but like I don't need my phone next to me, if that makes sense. Sleep, I want to bring back the sleep. I was prioritizing it for so long, and in May, I definitely let it slide, and we're not doing that. We're going to bring the sleep back. I want to finish planning our Europe trip for when we go in the fall, and I want to have 2 dinner date nights out. I want us to enjoy, going to restaurants a little bit more than we have been. I also want to train abs 2 times a week. I realized that I don't train abs ever, and my core isn't as strong as I need it to be. So I feel like it'll benefit my overall lifting if I have a stronger core. So we're going to be doing 2 times a week. I also want to continue using less heat on my hair. I have been doing heatless curls for the last 2 weeks, a lot more than I had been, and I actually been loving the way it looks. These are heatless curls today, and if you guys want a video on the heatless curls, let me know, because I feel like I've kind of nailed them. I want to give myself a hair trim. My hair needs a little bit of a trim ski, so I want to do that. And I want to try to get to the thrift store once a week, just because I find the more you go, the more gems you can get. Going once every 3 months, I'm not going to find the best stuff ever. So yeah, those are all of my goals for the month of June. And that is a wrap on the June reset. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you guys for the love and the support. And I love hearing from you guys, so please leave a comment, and I promise there will be more Orlando in the videos. If you don't know, Orlando is my cat, and he got a lot of love on the last one. He's currently upside down, sleeping on my bed, so he wasn't going to be in the background of this one, but he will be in more videos, and maybe a new little friend potentially too. Okay, bye everyone.